afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Landon here. Going to talk about a very potent severe weather threat this afternoon and evening into a majority of South Dakota, starting with the Black Hills. All the counties in the Black Hills, which are the counties shaded in pink, are under a severe thunderstorm watch until 10 p.m. this evening. Currently, we do got one severe thunderstorm warning currently in effect. This severe thunderstorm is in effect for western Custer County, southwestern Lawrence, southwestern Pennington, and southeastern Weston County in Wyoming until 3:15 p.m. Mountain Daylight Time. At 2:27 p.m. Mountain Daylight Time, severe thunderstorms were located along a line extending from 5 miles south of Iancara Mountain to 5 miles west of Dewey, moving northeast at 40, quarter-size hail, and 70-mile-per-hour straight-line winds are the hazards. Severe thunderstorms will be located around Newcastle, Dewey, Moon, Four Corners, Elk Mountain Lookout, Jewel Cave National Monument around 2:35 p.m. So we're talking momentarily. Deerfield Reservoir around 2:45. So if you're in Hill City, in Custer, be on the lookout around 3 o'clock. So probably within the next half hour for this storm. And this is actually just going to be wave number 1 of thunderstorms. So let's kind of dig into what our storms are doing here. Probability of hail, 67%. Probability of straight line winds, 66%. And we even do got a 1% probability of a tornado. Current hail size is 1 inch, 1.03 inches. With this storm, let's switch over to the hail tracker. As you can see, the area is pretty good hail core there, just along the South Dakota-Wyoming border from Riverview up to Newcastle, just east of Highway 85, along Highway 16, in between the Wyoming-South Dakota border over to Newcastle. And again, this is moving northeast at 45 miles an hour. Let's switch over to velocities. Looks like there's definitely some stronger winds embedded with this storm. Let's kind of see what our rotation's looking like. Latest sweep of the radar showing 0% probability of a tornado, weak rotation with this. Tornadoes will be possible, but I think that's going to be primarily east of the Black Hills today. Looks like the hail core might have grown just a little bit. The brighter greens are definitely going to indicate us some stronger winds. All right. So we're going to, can't run much of a loop here, but as you can kind of see here, moving in that northeasterly pattern. So, again, you folks in Custer, Hill City, need to be on the lookout for this thunderstorm. There's also another cell 19 miles northwest of Edgemont moving east at 30. So that one will stay to the north of Edgemont. But again, you folks in Custer, Hill City, Keystone really need to be on the lookout for this storm. It's kind of looking like to me that this hail core might be ramping up. There's definitely a hail core, but watching the reflectivity, that tells me there could be a growing hail core with this. Turn one of our tools on here. That's gonna, our probability tool. Looks like they just had a 60-mile-an-hour wind gust in Newcastle. Okay, so the probability of hails and straight line winds have both now jumped up to 76% with this storm. We still do got a 1% probability of a tornado. Hail size has increased to almost 1 1/4 inch. We're looking at 1.15 inch, so just under 1.25 inches with this. So again, this is moving northeast 45. So this warning's in effect until 3:15 p.m. Mountain Daylight Time. I do anticipate a extension on this storm. Okay, to continue. All right, we just had another update. I'm going to shut the probability tools off this time. Definitely getting concerned. Custer up to Hill City, if you're going to be along Highway 16, 385 going north, need to be on the lookout for this storm in the next half hour. Warning was issued for quarter-size hail and 70-mile-an-hour straight-line winds. Let's see if we can pinpoint the exact location of this here. It's not going to be nice enough to tell us the exact location, but right now I would say the worst of this storm is along Highway 16 west, in between the Wyoming state line and Jewel Cave. It's moving northeast. So if you're in Hill City, you need to be on the lookout for this thunderstorm. Let's go take a look at the velocities here. Looks like primarily just a straight line wind threat. There might be a little bit of possible rotation going on in the southwestern corner of Pennington County. Just kind of looking at the returns here on the lowest level of the velocities. There's definitely some good, that's kind of where the primary wind threat is. There's still going to be some good winds. It looks like coming toward Custer as well. Let's switch back over to the hail tracker. So there's still a very well-defined hail presence here for southwestern Pennington, western Custer County. Again, this is moving northeast, 40 miles an hour. All right, back to reflectivity. We're going to turn our probability tool back on. Okay, probability of hail. Now looking at 78% on this. Looking at 1.14 inch hail. Probability of straight line winds, 82%. And now we got a 2% probability of a tornado with this. And it looks like there could be a really well-defined hail core developing on this storm just down around the Dewey area and to the northwest of Edgemont. That looks like a really healthy hail core developing with that cell as well. Not seeing any indication of large or giant hail. I'm just seeing an indication of hail. I'm not seeing any indication as of yet with large hail either. Well, I shouldn't take that. I'll take that back. Excuse me. There is actually one little isolated pocket in the extreme northwestern part of Custer County that is currently getting some larger size hail. Again, all the area in red here, that's all hail. All right, back to velocities. Let's see what our winds are doing. This looks like it's primarily a straight line wind threat, which is not uncommon on the front edge of a storm. So, probability of hail down to 67%. Hail size still right around an inch. This is primarily going to be looks like a hail wind event, but as you can kind of see looking off to the west here, okay, I see the National Weather Service it also just issued a severe thunderstorm warning for, we're going to call this Butte and Lawrence counties until 3:30 p.m. Mountain Daylight Time. And Crook County in Wyoming, 2:40 p.m. Mountain Daylight Time. Severe thunderstorms were located extending from 13 miles east of Lightning Flat to 3 miles west of Moski, moving east 35, 60 mile an hour winds, quarter-size hail. So this storm should be around Spearfish at 2:55, lead 3 o'clock. Ooh, okay, so let's focus in on this cell here in Pennington, Custer County, because now we do have a tornadic vortex signature, which is called a TVS. Looking at the lower delta velocities, right around 61 knots right now. Depth of the rotations going up to 10,200 feet. Top of the rotations going to 14,800 feet with this storm. So let's just, and again, I'm thinking this is straight line winds, primarily straight line winds. Hail and straight line wind threat, 75% probability. Back over to reflectivity. All right, let's just turn the probability of tornadoes on just to see. I mean, it's really rare to see one on the front end of a storm. Yeah, it looks like the max LLA Z shear is 0.016. So that's actually in that stronger rotation level. So there's weak to strong rotation in that depending on where you're at. Radar's really updating really fast. I mean, radar's updating every 2 minutes here. Let's just... Alright, let's turn the probability of severe back on here. Still looking at 1-inch hail with this storm. Alright, let's turn the probability back off. We're going to turn the hail tracker back on here just to see what's going on. Again, in this severe thunderstorm warning is in effect for another 20 minutes or so, 25 minutes. Looks like the hail core might be actually shrinking a little bit, which is a good sign. I mean, as you can see, Custer, Hill City, if this thing holds together, I anticipate around 3 o'clock you guys may be seeing some hail. This thing's moving at 40 miles an hour. So let's go ahead and we're going to zoom out. We're going to run the radar loop here. Actually, now the National Weather Service in Rapid City has just issued another severe thunderstorm warning. This one is in effect for Fall River and Custer counties, and this is going to be for that storm to the northwest of Edgemont, down toward Dewey, and that's that one I was just talking about a little bit ago. This is in effect until 3:30 p.m. Mountain Daylight Time. At 2:45 p.m. Mountain Daylight Time, severe thunderstorm was located 13 miles northwest of Edgemont, moving east at 35. 70-mile-an-hour winds, quarter-size hail. This will be around Edgemont and Argyle in about 5 minutes from now. Again, this one's moving east at 35. Cottonwood Springs Dam and Southern Wind Cave National Park around 3:05. And I see they just had a 70-mile-an-hour wind gust reported 10 miles west of Edgemont. All right, so let's switch back over to the velocities. Not really seeing much for any tornadic rotation here, so anything I'm thinking is going to be a straight line wind event. There may be possibly some weak rotation into the western part of Pennington County here. Again, severe thunderstorm watch in effect until 10 p.m. So currently here in western South Dakota, we got 3 severe thunderstorm warnings. We're talking for Butte, Lawrence County, Lawrence, Pennington, Custer, Weston County in Wyoming, and then Custer and Fall River counties. So it's all one line of thunderstorms, and what's going to happen is these line of thunderstorms are going to move across the state of South Dakota, and they're going to get into a really ripe environment for severe weather, for these storms to grow. Looks like we also got a severe thunderstorm warning down into Nebraska, and the top on that thing has to be pretty good considering the Rapid City radar's picking up on this thunderstorm into Brown and Rock counties I'm in Nebraska, so we're talking about a thunderstorm to the south of Ainsworth, and the returns you're seeing here are actually being picked up by the Rapid City radar. So just for curiosity here, let's go to the echo tops And you can see that one's starting to get up into that 50,000 foot range. Let's just see what the NWS office out of North Platte's saying on that one. Thunderstorm was 15 miles southwest to Ainsworth, moving northeast to 20. Ping pong ball size hail, 60-mile-an-hour winds on that one. And that's for Brown and Rock counties in Nebraska until 4:30 p.m. Central Daylight Time. All right, so back up here to our neck of the woods here. It looks like the worst of these thunderstorms. It looks like this is going to be in northwestern Fall River County, southwestern Custer County. That does not look like the place to be according to radar right now. All right, so we are seeing some giant hail according to Hail Tracker here, right around Burdock, just south of Dewey, northwest Edgemont here. Let's turn on the hail probability. We'll switch back over to the reflectivity while we turn on our probability tool. Inch and a quarter hail. Probability of hail, 88%. Probability of wind, straight line winds, 83%. Now, this is interesting. Tornado probability's actually gone up, folks. Up to an 8% probability of a tornado with this. Looking at moderate to strong rotation here. So let's turn the probabilities back on here. Inch and a quarter hail possible. I'm thinking that's primarily because of the section of this storm down here in Fall River County. But let's just see what we're looking at. I'm still seeing a healthy hail core. I'm seeing multiple healthy hail cores. I'm looking at the reflectivity here, folks. These pinks to whites, I hate to say that, folks, but that's going to be your hail core. So let me shut the probabilities off here so you can get a better look at this. So, again, reds, yellows and reds, oranges, reds, those are going to be just heavy, moderate to heavy rain. Areas in pink to white, that's going to be your hail. That's your hail core, folks. And it also looks like, kind of on the back side of that, just down by Burdock there in northwestern Fall River County, it looks like there could be a good little inflow trying to get going there. We're going to kind of keep an eye on that as well here. We're going to bounce over to the, yeah, I'm not seeing anything on the velocities that really pop out to me here. All right, back to reflectivity. So again, moving, this whole line is moving, it's kind of quickly moving too. That's the interesting thing. Is watching this radar loop, I really think based off of the amount of ground it's covered just in the last 15, 20 minutes or so, I think this is moving faster than 40, 45 miles an hour, folks. So back to live radar. So this storm north of Edgemont, this thing just looks, that thing looks mean. It looks nasty. All right, just got a notification. Lightning has been detected within 15 miles. So I think at this point, what we're going to do is we're going to step outside and go see what this looks like, because I think this could be really interesting to see this. Looks like I said, again, Custer to Hill City along Highway 16 through 85 going north. Be on the lookout for hail momentarily. So thank you for watching this part of the coverage. Stay tuned for more weather coverage.